What an absolutely pitiful first half performance from the Toronto Raptors there last night in New Orleans. And they end up falling 126-108 to the Pelicans. And now fall to 11-10 on the year. You guys are probably wondering why I didn't get this done last night. You guys noticed a couple days ago I was dealing with some nasty cold. It was really going after me. And then yesterday, fever, sore throat, cough, nose was still running. I mean, it was literally everything. So I'm like, I can't do this. Today, no fever, no nothing going on. Just kind of a little bit of nasal congestion and a little bit of cough. Hopefully I can get through this video without doing that. But I got some water anyways, just in case. Let's get through this video. And let's get through this game. Because it was bad on so many levels. It was great for Gary Trent. We'll talk about him in a bit because I have a lot of good things I want to say about what he did last night. But let's start with Fred VanVleet's ejection. That's something that's been stirring up Toronto media there since last night. I thought the NBA was a superstar-driven league. We all know LeBron is the GM. And that's everyone knows that. And we all know that superstars get calls, right? So we always see it. But Fred VanVleet made an all-star team last year. Now, yes, not a superstar by any means. But he was an all-star last year. So he should be getting more respect than, let's say, role players or starters that aren't all-stars, right? You should be getting that sort of reputation. Well, with already one tech in the game, Fred VanVleet wants a call, turns to the ref, gives him one of those, and walks off. And the ref gives him a second tee and kicks him out. What has this league come to? And I'm not saying this would have had a different impact on the game, because let's be real. The Raptors didn't play well. Fred wasn't playing well. But it's the premise of it that I feel like these officials in games feel like they're so entitled that all these rules nowadays make sure they don't get anything done to them. No harm done. Because I look at the players, and if you ever watch baseball, right? If you guys have ever watched it, if you've not, go up and look ejections in last year or 2021. Just do that. Because 9 times out of 10, the manager or whoever's arguing with the umpire will be losing their mind. And what does the umpire be doing? Standing there like this, yep, okay, yep. Basically flipping them off. And tell them, you can yell all in my face, but you can't do anything. And if you do something, you're going to get fined, you're going to get suspended, and all this stuff. Whereas me, I'm just going to go to the next city and umpire another game. And officials in the NBA, you can't do anything. You can't say a word. You can't do anything without them losing their mind and giving you a tech or kicking you out of the game for doing that. If it was his first tee, fine. But usually there's a little bit more leeway in the second technical. I guess not. It's pretty sad. If this is what the sports is coming to right now. That you literally got to be a stiff and you can't say anything to anybody without repercussions. Or even clapping your hands in anger. It's pretty sad. Like I said, would it have changed the game? No. But it's the premise of it. Let's get to this game, shall we? And the inability to play defense for the Toronto Raptors in the first half was very evident. You allowed 40 in the first quarter. 40! You scored 29, not bad, but you're still minus 11 after one quarter of play. Now, usually you see the defensive intensity pick up after the first frame, right? You get into the huddle, you regroup, and you go back out there. Well, that didn't happen. You allowed 34 in the second quarter, allowed a total of 74 points in the first half alone. You're asking for trouble. And I believe the Raptors are down by 27, at halftime, as they've scored only 47 points. They dropped 18 in that second quarter. Just awful. Now, yes, they come out in the third quarter. Oh, they win it. 31-28. You're down by 27 going into the third quarter, and you win that one by 3. You're only down by 24 now going into the fourth. Shout out Gary Trent. Shout out the Raptors for fighting back. And at one point in the fourth, with like 5 minutes to go or so, they got it within 11. Like they were right there. But they couldn't make that final punch and break through and get back into single digits and then really dwindle it down. They couldn't do it because they built it back up. They ended up getting it up to 18, and that's all she wrote. You win that quarter 30-24, but you lose by 18. And there was a lot of tough things to watch. Whether it was the turnovers from the Toronto Raptors, whether it was the inability to make shots, the lack of defensive intensity and the switches in communication in that first half. There's a lot. But let's get to these player stats. And also you got demolished on the glass. OG, 12 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, shot 5 of 11, 1 of 1 from the line, 1 of 3 from distance. He had a steal and a block, but he turned the ball over 4 times. It was a -4 in 30 minutes. I love when OG's aggressive with the offense. 5-11s from the field's good. Only 3 threes. No, I mean, again, he only played 30 minutes, I guess. But he only got to the line 1 time, which I still don't understand. The guy that's driving as hard as he is into the paint, but whatever. Scotty royally struggled, and you'll see that from the minutes played. 4 points, 1 board, 5 assists. Love the assist numbers. He's been great at that his entire career so far. Finding guys, getting assists. That's great. 1 of 7 from the field. 1 of 2 from the line. 1 of 5 from distance. The shots weren't falling for Scotty. And a lot of them were threes. Had a steal in the block, but he turned the ball over 3 times in only 21 minutes. It was a -14 while he was on the floor. Scotty played 21 minutes and was a -14 and turned the ball over 3 times. And took 7 shots and only made 1. Like, it's just a really tough game for Scotty, man. Really, really tough. And hence why Nick Nurse only played him 21 minutes. And then Fred VanVleet. I said it off the top after I was losing my mind with the officiating. He wasn't great anyways. Right? 2 points, 6 boards, 6 assists. Love those 2 numbers, but you got to make shots. 1 of 8 from the field, was 0 of 7 from 3. He had 1 steal, but he turned the ball over twice. And Fred was a -23 in 20 minutes. You made 1 shot, you turn the ball over twice, and you were -23 in 20 minutes. It's pretty damn bad. Love Fred. We all do. But that was bad. And this season, it's going a little unnoticed, but his shooting numbers are way down. I think his 3-point percentage is still pretty good, albeit went 0 for 7 yesterday. But from the field, it's bad. And I don't know. There's something wrong with Fred. We don't know what it is. Is he still sick? I don't flipping know. Pascal, look, we've come to the point where you just know what you're going to get. 23 points, 6 boards, 4 assists, shot 9 of 16 from the field, was 4 of 5 from the free throw line, 1 of 2 from distance, 2 steals, 2 blocks. Phenomenal. However, he did turn the ball over 5 times. So again, your 3 top I'd say 3 of your top 4 ball handlers, because Fred's there as well, had a combined 12 turnovers. 12 of the 16 in the game for the Raptors. Pascal was a -12 in 33 minutes. Now, the player of the game for the Raptors, because in an 18-point loss, you usually wouldn't have one. However, it's well deserved that Gary Trent Jr. is the reason why this game got close. And he's the reason why this offense even seemed relevant today. Or last night. The talk about Gary recently has been the inconsistent shooting and the lack of defense. And Nick Nurse's quote obviously came out, and he was something along the lines of, right, if he does this, he fits our team. If he doesn't do this, he doesn't fit our team. Bold statement. And yes, we've heard this quite often in the past about Gary. Or not about Gary specifically, but Nick Nurse has done this in the past with other players. But more often than not, the game after that, those players have bounced back. Like Terrence Davis, remember that? Where he bounced back and had like a 30-point performance because Nick put him in the starting lineup the game after that, and he dropped 30. I think it was against Chicago. Was it against Chicago? I can't remember. Chris Boucher last year, same thing, and he turned into the Chris Boucher we've been seeing over the last year and a half. Right after those big comments from Coach Nick Nurse. Now Gary, we heard it not too long ago. That quote basically that I just referenced, and we hadn't seen the next couple of games. He had not performed, and we're like, okay, well, did it get through to him? You know, and is this going to work with Gary? Well, the last game was not too bad, right? He was a little bit better. Today, or last night, 35 points, 1 board, 1 dime, the shooter's mentality. 12 out of 20 from the field. 5 of 7 from the line. 6 of 11 from 3. He had 3 steals. And he only turned the ball over 1 time in 33 minutes. Minus 15, but still. Everybody was a minus in this game. Except for Juancho, somehow, as always. Gary is a shooter. Gary is a guy who gets into passing lanes. His mano-a-mano defense isn't the greatest. So he lives off of those loose balls that he can pounce on and get the turnovers. Or, like I said, getting into passing lanes. And last year, we saw early in the season, he was gambling, but he was making the right gambles, and he was pickpocketing guys, and it was really, really good to see. That dwindled off, and it's been gone to start the season. Now, to start the season, the shot wasn't falling for Gary. So it's like, okay, well, you can't not do both. Because then it's kind of hard to play you. And last night, he was getting in the passing lanes. He was getting those turnovers. Really nice job for Gary. And he dropped 35 and shot 12 of 20 from the field and 6 of 11 from 3. You make your shots, Gary. You get a few steals. He's incredible that way. We see games like this and we're like, man, the potential on Gary Trent Jr. is off the charts when he's making shots. Right? And we'll see if this can continue for Gary because we know he can go get red hot when he starts feeling himself. And the Raptors might need it. They might need it. Because if anything suggests what they're shooting right now, it's you need some 3-point shooting. He scored, I think they only had 11 threes in the game. He had 6 of them. So that'll tell you, that's your telltale sign right there. Quickly through the team stats. Raptors shot 48% from the field. 29% from 3. Even after Gary's shooting 6 of 11. 68% from the free throw line. Just not good enough. They shot 52% from the field. 42% from 3. 85% from the line. And oh yeah, by the way, this is without Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum. Yeah. And as I mentioned earlier, we got killed in the glass. Minus 22 in the glass. Minus 9 in the offensive boards. Minus 9 in second chance points. It's tough. They have some big dudes, though, obviously. With obviously Zion and JV and guys like that. They can rip that ball down. But it was tough to watch. And 16 turnovers for the Raptors. It's way too many. This team is, you got to pride yourself on taking care of the basketball, and that didn't happen yesterday. All right, so you know what, guys? We move on to tomorrow's game as they're in Brooklyn again. Like, how many times are we going to play these guys? 7:30 tip-off tomorrow in Brooklyn as they look to find a way to win. Look, defense, cuts, your mano-mano defense, your switches have to be on point tomorrow and make your threes. That's my key for tomorrow, all right? As they're in Brooklyn at 7:30, all right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. If you enjoyed the video, and this is a long one, but a lot of things I wanted to cover. Hit that like button if you guys enjoyed this one. Hit the subscribe button. You guys know that already. Comment down below your thoughts on the video, your thoughts on the game. Would you like, would you not like from the Toronto Raptors? The Instagram and Twitter links are down below, so follow up, send me a DM to like great stuff on there. And Discord link is down in the description as well, so follow up there, join it, all that great stuff. All kinds of discussions going on in there. And I will talk to you guys, Leafs Edition, very shortly as they beat the San Jose Sharks last night, so we'll talk about that. And as for the Raptors, like we said, they're back in action tomorrow in Brooklyn. 7:30 tip-off there. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and parts of that fourth quarter yesterday. We'll talk to you guys then.